everybody, thank you for coming. This is our last performance of the Best Christmas Pageant Ever, which was a joy to do for all of us. I think that was a joy for me. And the kids, we all had a great time. The kids have been wonderful, and we look forward to what's coming up in the new year. My name is Merlin Valerio, and I directed this with Natalie Arneson, who is right over here. So we're going to tell you just a smidgy quick about what's happening in January. Our classes, for once, are all online. If you come to shows here, I always say, yeah, I'm going to do it really soon, but I'm busy. No, I did it. So yay! You can sign up for everything right now. I know. We have all our regular classes, and then we have some new things and a new show, which Natalie will tell you about.
Yes, starting in January for the 4th to 8th graders, I believe.
I think we have 2 separate classes.
2 separate classes, that's right. We're doing just a musical theater class, which will be, we will learn scenes and songs from different famous musicals and put them all together with a review. So it's exciting because we're going to do fun stuff, but we can kind of tailor it to the kids that are involved, and they can have input on which musicals we do things from. We'll do some from classics, do some from more contemporary things, and then our spring musical, which I'm very excited about, is Peter Pan. When they asked me what I wanted to do, I said, please, please, please let me do Peter Pan. It's such a great show. I've done it before with kids, and it's a blast, so I hope that a lot of your kids will come and do it, because we're going to have a good time. So yay!
Thank you.
Welcome to the 2016 Christmas pageant.
The Herdmans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied and cheated and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and cussed their teachers, and took the name of the Lord in vain, and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken down tool house. There were 6 of them: Ralph, Imogene, Claude, Leroy, Gladys, and Ollie. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson school like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. And they went through the town the same way, stealing and whamming kids. So it was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, because there are no hurries there, and Jesus loves us as they say, because he keeps the miles away.
That's my little brother Charlie, and that's what he said when our Sunday school teacher asked what his favorite thing about church was. Charlie said, there are no Herdmans there. Now, this made the teacher mad because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feeling. But Charlie, he told the real truth. There are no Herdmans.
Everybody else said. That's what they really thought. And all that other stuff is okay, but the make a thing about church and the Herdmans aren't there ever.
That's very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herbin in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst one.
But Leroy's the toughest, so if he gets you...
That doesn't make any difference. Gus isn't big, but she's fast and she bites.
Sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I say. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
You're arguing about the Christmas pageant this year.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Miss Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everyone's in it. Think about how I would feel on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think about how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
I didn't actually plan on going.
I have to go.
You know how it's always crowded. They could just use my seat. I'll stay at home and put on my bathrobe. Nothing ever changes in the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie is going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
Why don't you just be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. Elmer Hopkins is tired of being Joseph every year, just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. Away in the manger always sounds like a closet full of mice to me.
What are you wearing in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or a bedsheet. Come on, let's go watch TV.
I'm glad. No. You guys know that Miss Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a wonderful experience.
Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
Well, I guess they're right. You know, she directs the pageant, she runs a potluck supper, she's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach a sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yeah.
Well, maybe she'll try to manage the hospital because that's where she is. I saw George in the drugstore and he told me that his wife broke her leg this morning. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks until the first of the year.
Wait, the first of the year? They'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas.
Well, she's in charge of the pageant, and she's in charge of the bazaar. I mean, I feel sorry for Helen, but who's gonna do those things?
Yes, I'll take the bazaar. Edna, if you do the potluck supper. I don't know what in the world we're gonna do about the pageant unless. How about Grace?
I just can't, Edna. I got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
Oh no, I have the bake sale. How about Grace?
Hello, Grace?
Bob,
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't exactly what you'd call a 4-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg and all was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It was always the same old Christmas story with the same old Carol, the same old Mary, and the same old Joseph. That's what my mother got stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
I'll tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here is what I do. I start with Mary, and I tell them that we must choose our Mary carefully, because Mary was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes. And then I tell them about Joseph. Joseph is God's choice to be Jesus' God. That's why I explain that. Frankly, I never spend much time on Joseph, because it's always Elmer Hopkins, and he knows all about Mary and Joseph.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How could she talk on the phone if she's in traction?
Do you know what traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck, Beth can eat salt, pepper, and napkins.
But I do explain about the wise men and the shepherds and how important they are. And I always say, there are no small parts, only small actors. Remind the angel choir not to stare in the audience or to wear earrings or things like that. They can't wear clunky shoes or high heels. I just hope you don't have too many baby angels, Grace, because they're going to be your biggest problem.
You'll leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Herdman stole my lunch again.
How could you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the dinner?
Grace, where's the dinner?
Oh, sorry, it's in the oven.
I'll get it. You'll have to get someone who puts the baby angels on. Otherwise, you'll get each other's way and bend over. Bob can do that, and he can keep an eye on the shepherds. Oh, and another thing about the angel choir, don't let them wear lipstick. They think because it's a pageant.
Hello, there's someone at the door. I gotta go.
So tell them.
There's someone at my door, Helen. I gotta go. See you later. Okay, bye. Oh, for heaven's sake, it's you.
Lady, can I have some supper? I haven't had a square meal for 3 days. I was very lonely at the table.
Well, I guess Helen was only at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I'll make sure about no small parts, only small actors.
news?
And getting somebody to push the baby angels on and get the shepherds to shut up.
She did. She suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
And Grace, don't confuse anyone's baby for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get two. Then if one turns out to be fussy, you can always switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said that Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think of problems. And my mother said there were not going to be any problems. Of course, she did not count on the herdmen. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, bring back my lunch.
Sure, kid. Here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't here.
Well, what was it?
2 Twinkies.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so good to steal my dessert every day? And you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
Yeah, what kind of dessert?
All kinds, chocolate cake and candy bars and cookies, big wheels and refreshments. All the time, all we want.
You're a liar.
And cupcakes and donuts and,
Who gives it to you?
the minister.
Why, is he crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Sunday school, huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell the herdmans. And sure enough, there they were, the very next Sunday, in church, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant? It's a play. Like on TV? What's it about? It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part.
One that Charlie, you need. This won't take very long. So settle down. Now this is our first rehearsal, so we're going to decide who'll play the main roles in our Christmas pageant. But of course, everyone will have an important part to play. Like Miss Armstrong always says, there are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Miss Armstrong says?
That's what she always says, but she never tells us what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. It means that all the short kids have to be in the front row with the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Not exactly. It means that even the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary. I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is the most important.
I still think it means that the short kids have to be in the front row.
Okay, girls, everyone is important. Jesus, Mary, and the short kids. Is everyone here? Beverly, can you please just go in the hall and see if everyone's coming? Thank you. Now, you little kids will be your angels, so just remind your parents you'll need to bring bed sheets for your costumes. And kids in the angel choir will also need bed sheets, so ask your parents to leave home, and then you guys can bring those in. Okay, make room for the 30 minutes. Where's Beverly?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did she say she was sick?
I don't know. I just said hi, Beverly, and she just left.
Well, will someone please just tell Beverly about the next rehearsals every Wednesday after school and try to be there for every one of them?
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely be there for every one of them.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either.
Well, Beverly got sick and we didn't start yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick, okay? I want you all to just think about Mary first and the kind of person that Mary was. She was very quiet and gentle and kind, and the girl who plays Mary is trying to be that kind of person. Do we have any volunteers? Oh, do you have a question, Suji?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, I'll make a list of volunteers and we can all decide later as a group. Ralph, Herdman, great. Now, any other volunteers? Elmer, you raise your hand?
No, thank you.
Anyone at all? Any of you shepherds? No? Okay. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph, and Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I will write that down. Any other names I can put on my list? Janet? Roberta? Alice? Did you raise your hand?
No thanks. I'll be Mary. Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Oh, the wise men are usually boys. Of course, they don't have to be boys. We could just change
I'll
it.
be a wise man.
Me too. Claude, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
What's a wise man? Just raise your hands.
What's up to be? Some angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
Oh, it's the angel of the Lord. He brought the good news to the shepherds. Yes, we do have some volunteers. Toby, do you want to be a shepherd?
No, I just wanted to say I can't be a shepherd. I'm going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered. My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know, she just said, don't be a shepherd.
I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Yes, you are. What is the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman, it's too hard.
Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just brings the good news to the shepherds that Jesus was born.
And hits them.
Elmer, that is ridiculous. And I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone, okay? No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's all I have for you, so you can go. But I expect to see everyone here Wednesday at 6:30. Alex, what happened? Why didn't you raise your hand? I don't know. You don't know, else I expected you to. To volunteer. Don't you want to be married?
Oh, come on, Alex. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene Herdman would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be married in this play, and if you even dare raise your hand, you'll wish you didn't. And then I said, but I'm always married at the Christmas pageant. And then she said, fine, go ahead then. And next spring when the Pussy Willows come out, I'll stick a Pussy Willow so far down your ear that no one can reach it. And by the end of the year, I'll have a Pussy Willow brooch growing out of my ear.
She would not do that.
She would too. You just watch. The Herdmans will do anything, and they'll ruin the whole pageant, and it's all your mother's fault.
Jane and McCarthy, did you hear about them? Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How else is it going to end up in the pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, or most welcome. I just heard that Imogene Herdman is gonna be married in the Christmas pageant. And is that a fact? All 6 of them? Vera, I live next door to that. And I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Imogene Herdman? What kind of town is that to be married? The mother of Jesus. Where was Reverend Hopkins? I'd like to know. He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I'm a shut-in. He was visiting me.
So I said,
Why not in the church?
send them away. We never have. But I said,
If I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. If I'd been up and around, it never happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me. I'm on your side. The car is over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I made my mind a long time ago to do the best I could under the circumstances, but now I'm gonna have to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm gonna do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands when no one else did, so I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. The car is over there.
And you're gonna help me.
Does that mean...
You have to go. Alright, the inn is right back there, off stage, and that's when the shepherds will come in and gather around the manger.
Where'd all the shepherds come from anyway?
What's an inn? It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
What people? Jesus?
Jesus wasn't born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At a motel.
Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her.
Begin at the beginning.
Beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. You've heard the Christmas story from the Bible, haven't you? Okay, well that's what a Christmas pageant is, so I gotta read it to you.
I cannot believe it. They have never even heard the Christmas story.
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they've never been to church in their whole lives. Till your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we're wasting all this time for nothing.
Okay, there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant. She was pregnant.
Okay, you know Mary was pregnant. And it came to pass, while there they were, that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son.
I don't think it's very nice to say
pregnant.
Well, she was.
Well, I don't think it's very nice for your mother to say Mary was pregnant. She should say Gray was a child. Besides, my mom says I shouldn't talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in the manger because there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus?
We didn't know the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What's the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them? Her pregnant and everything?
What's a manger? Is it some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they just had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
Well, there you go. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you just had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed. Only Claude was still in it, and he wouldn't get out. He didn't like Gladys very much. You remember how he didn't like Gladys?
That was pretty smart of Claude not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger it's like a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
It said in there she wrapped him in wadded up clothes.
Swaddling clothes. People used to wrap their babies in really tight pieces of material so they would feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare?
The child welfare center has every 5 minutes.
There wasn't any child welfare in Bethlehem.
I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord.
Shazam!
What?
Out of the Black Knight with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvo.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The mighty Marvo out of Amazing Comics.
This is the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherd.
Out of nowhere, right? Out of the Dark Knight, right?
In a way.
Shazam.
And there were wise men from the east bearing gifts of gold and frankincense.
What's that?
And myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things like spices and precious oils.
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare? The wise men?
Well, they were kings, and they were sent
Finally,
by.
it's about time somebody important showed up. If they're kings, they could get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were sent by Herod, who was like the main king, and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My God, he was just born. They're gonna kill a baby?
Who's Herod in this play?
Herod isn't in the play.
He's out to kill a baby and he isn't even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he goes, go get me that baby. And they say, okay, because he's a king and all.
But then they don't do it. They go back and get Herod.
I'm not going to be Herod. No one is going to be Herod.
Come here.
What is he doing?
No. Joseph gets the shepherds together and then go wipe out Herod.
See? They're going to put one in, it's going to be me and I'll get killed. Forget about Herod. There is no Herod.
And I run away with the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody ought to fix the innkeeper. Gladys, you are not the innkeeper.
I can't, I'm the angel. Well, I wouldn't just hang around out in the barn. I'd go get a room.
She said there wasn't any room.
Then I kick somebody out. I tell them I got this baby and it's the middle of the winter, so either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I'd send the angel after him. She could just point her electric finger and turn him to a pile of ashes.
Yeah, that.
What's the name of this play? She never said.
Christmas pageant.
That's no name. That's what it is.
I know a name. How about Revenge at Bethlehem?
Revenge at Bethlehem. The Hermans thought that the Christmas story came out of the FBI files. Well, at least it was the right villain that they picked out, and it was Herod they wanted to gang up on and not baby Jesus. But our baby Jesus quit the play anyway. We were left without one. This bothered my mother, and she kept trying to get somebody to play Jesus, even at our last rehearsal. Alice, what is that book?
Diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herman. He swears and curses all the time. Puff talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys drinks communion wine. Alice, it was not wine
I've seen her 3 times. Her mouth all purple. And they steal, too. If you shake the birthday bank, there's nothing in it because Imogene Herdman stole everything out of it. And don't go in the ladies' room. The whole air is blue and Imogene Herdman is sitting in her Mary costume smoking a cigar.
And you wrote all of this down? For what?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society. And anyone else who's going to wonder why the entire pageant will turn into a big mess.
Okay, everyone, guys, will you please join us? Now, this is our last rehearsal, so we're going to start working on the costume and stuff for Mary.
Grace, I just wanted to let you know that we're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cake, and we'll try not to bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal?
It's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear your niece had a baby a month or so ago? A little girl?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old.
I wonder if we could just borrow her, because we really kind of looking.
Oh, Grace, no. I can make up some lie and tell you the baby's sick or cranky or something like that. The truth is, she's perfectly happy and healthy, and we all want her to stay that way. So we are certainly not going to hand her over to Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
This is Bradley. We can use my little brother for Jesus.
Oh, I didn't know you had a new baby, Dee Dee.
Oh, he's not new. He's 4 years old, but he's double jointed. He could probably scrunch up.
Oh, I don't think so.
I'll get us a baby.
And how are you going to do that?
Well, there's always 2 or 3 babies outside the supermarket in carriages. I can get one of those.
Imogene, you cannot just walk off with someone else's baby. Just forget about the baby. We can choose a doll.
That's better. A doll can't fight you anyways.
Oh, and Imogene, you know that Mary didn't wear earrings?
I have to wear these. I just got them pierced, and if I take them out, they'll grow together.
They won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you?
What doctor?
Who pierced your ears?
Gladys. She probably used an ice pick. I'll bet they turn black and fall off.
Okay, well, we can just find something smaller. Is that your costume, Imogene? Is that what you're wearing for the show? You're all supposed to be in your costumes today?
I can't find my halo.
My wings got all bent.
Jean, it's not my robe. My mother doesn't have any white sheets. Can I wear a sheet with balloons on it? I haven't got any costume. I've never been a shepherd before.
It's in your father's bathroom. That's what I have to do.
My father doesn't have a bathroom.
What does he hang around the house in?
His underwear.
Okay, pretend you're wearing your costumes.
Are we gonna go through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first, we can just go through the entrances and exits. So just go where you're supposed to be, and we can start with the shepherd. Just the last few words, Maxine.
Shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night,
Music. Shepherds.
and an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and
Shazam! Gladys, no.
and in a dark night with horrible vengeance, the mighty Marvel.
Stop. Just keep going, Maxine.
Shazam! And suddenly, there was a multitude of heavenly hosts.
Music. Angels. Music. Wise men.
I've got the baby here! Don't touch him! I named him Jesus!
Imogene, don't say anything. No one say
anything.
But Mary and Joseph just give us a lovely picture to look at when we think about Christmas and what it means. Put the doll back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel tells me what to name the baby. I would have named him Bill.
But it's a terrible thing to say.
What angel was that? There's angels all over the place. Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brought the good news to the shepherds.
Yeah, unto child is born. Unto me, not them. Me, I'm the one that had the baby.
No, it just means that Jesus belongs to everyone. Unto all of us, the child is born.
Why did they let Mary name her own baby? What did that angel do? Just walk up and say, name him Jesus?
Yes. Mrs. Bradley, I know what the angel said. She said, his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
My God, he'd never make it out of first grade if he had to write all that.
Back in a minute.
Mrs. Bradley, what should I do? Should I start over? 5 minutes, Maxine. Just 5 minutes.
We never did start over, and we never did get through the whole play. The 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes, and Miss Imogene Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. And then Mrs. McCarthy walked in, and she saw all the smoke. So then she called the fire department.
Fire! There's a fire! Fire! Fire!
Goes on the side!
Kids! Get the kids out!
Get everyone out!
They cleared the building and dragged a huge fire hose around the place, trying to find a fire to put out. But the only fire that they found was in the kitchen, where the applesauce cakes were all burnt up. So of course this made all the ladies mad, and Mrs. McCarthy mad, and my mother mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
It was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of thick smoke.
Mm-hmm. Lots of smoke. It couldn't have been. You guys just got excited. And now look, there's firemen all over the church and little baby angels crying and shepherds climbing all over the fire engines. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
And the whole Ladies' Aid Society was mad, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad, and Alice Wendelkin's mother was very mad. And Reverend Hopkins said that he didn't know what to think.
I've been on the telephone all day and I can't make heads or tails of it. Some people say that fire the ladies' room, some people say that set fire to the kitchen, and Vera Wendelkin says all they do is talk about sex and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear, and they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen where the applesauce cake burnt up.
Well, the whole church is in uproar. I don't know. Jesus said, "Suffer the little children to come unto me," but I don't know if he was talking about the herdmans. Grace, don't you think we should cancel the pageant?
I bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea,
We can blame it on the fire. Makes a good excuse.
and I bet that was Edna McCarthy's idea.
Everyone seems to think it's going to be a...
Disaster? Well, they're wrong. It's gonna be the best Christmas pageant ever.
I don't think anyone's going to come.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie, but we were very wrong. And sure enough, on Christmas Eve, the church was jammed packed. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Turn the lights on. Watch your step.
I can't even see where I'm going, and I don't know what in the world you expect this thing to be.
I thought it might look like a palm tree. I now see it doesn't. I have no idea what's gonna happen tonight. We've never once gone through the whole thing, and I'm pretty sure the Herdmans still think it's kind of spy story. This might be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men get in a fight and Mary runs away with the baby. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are down in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I mean, our kids.
We're here.
Go get your costumes on. It's getting late.
It's just going to be awful, you know. They look terrible, like trick or treat, all fastened together with their safety pins, and they're wearing their moldy old sneakers. Mary and Joseph, I mean. They look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were. Mary and Joseph were refugees in a way. They were a long way from home, didn't have any place to stay, and didn't know anybody. They were probably cold, hungry, tired, and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they're sure messy.
Dear, do you think
I think you worry too much. Now, I'm going to push the baby angels on stage, and I'm going to hand the shepherds their buckles. When do I do all that?
God, follow the script.
All right. Baby angels, shepherds. Doesn't say where the fire engines come in. Yes.
Okay, everyone, just come on stage. I just want to, oh, Beth, Alice, will you guys just look after the angels? Gladys, where is your halo?
Our cat buried it. Look, I have to say something besides the baby came. Why would they go tear off after some baby they don't even know? I have to tell them Jesus, and I have to tell them where he is.
Hey, Gladys, I just want you to say, unto you a child is born. And that's all you say, okay? Wait, Bob, can I have a halo? Thank you. Now, everyone, go in the back, and please try to be quiet when people are coming. Good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. They say break a leg.
I know that, Alex, but I just don't think. Okay. For those of you who don't know, it is a theatrical saying. It doesn't really mean break your legs or anyone else's. Imogene, you know that this is a baby, right? And at least for today, it's baby Jesus.
A decree went out that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went into Bethlehem with Mary his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no more room for them in the inn.
Away in a manger, no crib for his bed. The little Lord Jesus laid down his sweet head.
Came a long way, and now they have this new baby to worry about.
Who? Ralph and Imogene?
No, Mary and Joseph. And in that region there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night.
While shepherds watch their flocks by night, all seated on the ground, the angel of the Lord came down, and glory shone around.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about when they were sore afraid when the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said,
Hey! Hey! A new child is born! It's Jesus! He's in the barn! Go see him! Go on!
And suddenly there was a multitude of heavenly hosts, saying, Glory to God at its highest, and on earth peace among men.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
We three kings of glory.
Oh my gosh! And they look awful too! And what's that Leroy's got? I'll bet they stole it. It's their own world, and they must hate Ham.
Even if they do hate him, Alice, it's the only thing that they never did give away in their beauty bright. Westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these things, and pondered them in her heart.
Silent night, holy night.
Mary's crying.
All is calm,
Mary's crying.
all is bright. Round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild. Sleep
this is the best Christmas pageant we've ever had. And I'm not sure why, but I think it was them. Could that be?
I always get weepy about the pageant. I get to see the children and the carols and all. But you're right, this year was the best, and it should have been the worst.
There was just something different.
The angel of the Lord was different?
Yeah, but you know, I like that. Lots of spirit. Sometimes you can't even hear the angel of the Lord. Well, I must go find Grace and tell her.
I just wish now they would let them have Eugene to be the baby Jesus.
Who was the baby Jesus?
Why, it was a doll.
Oh, I don't think so, Irma. That was no doll.
It did seem real.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened in just that way. We all thought that the Christmas story was about Jesus, but that was only a part of it. It was about a mother and a father and a new baby who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, nobody they knew. And then, arriving from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Because of the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogene birthing the baby, the wise men bringing such a sensible present, and even Gladys. They're in the bar to go see him, so they didn't have to stumble all across the countryside. But I guess it was not like that for Imogene. For her, the Christmas story was all wonder and mystery, as if she really did catch on to what Christmas was all about. After the show, we had a party in the basement, but the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't drink all the hot cocoa or walk off with all the cookies. They wouldn't even take their own candy canes.
Well, I guess that's about it. Any more kids left downstairs?
Oh, no, they're all gone. You realize you're wearing your bathrobe, right? Not gonna wear that, are you?
Why not? Maybe people will think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken as a shepherd in this Christmas pageant.
Yes, you would. Afterwards, Mitty came up to me and hugged me because I was a shepherd. What are we going to do with this ham?
Oh, it's the Herdman's ham from the welfare basket. Leroy said it's a gift. You shouldn't give back a gift.
Leroy said that? They must hate ham.
You and Alice Wendelkin.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
Oh, that's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas, kids.
It's almost Christmas, Charlie.
And it came to pass in the days of, and there were shepherds abiding,
A multitude praising God.
I bring you glad tidings of great joy.
Hey! Hey! Unto a child is born! Shazam!
Repeat, repeat.